What the hell do we know?
Because we like to think of space as empty
and matter as solid. Take a look at an atom. We think of it as kind of a hard ball. It's this tiny point of really dense matter surrounded by a kind of fluffy probability cloud of electrons popping in and out of existence. Even the nucleus that we think of as so dense, more like a thought, like a concentrated bit of information.
First thing I want to tell you about the subatomic world is that it's entirely created by mad physicists. So, they do these little experiments. And by little experiments, I mean big energy and little spaces and little tiny pieces of time. Quantum physics. And it is subject to a whole debatable something or other of hypotheses and thoughts and feelings and intuitions, yeah. To scientists, matter has always been that which is predictable, static. Within all the atoms, the space within those particles take up an insignificant amount of the volume of the molecules. The rest of it is just vacuum. What seems to happen is that particles appear and disappear all the time. So, where do things go when they're not here? I'm going to give you two answers. One, they go into an alternate universe, where the people in that universe are asking the same questions about those particles. When they come into our universe, they say, where'd them particles go?
Who wants answers? My brain or some other entity, some other aspect? The biochemistry of every single thing in nature is at once, strangely, universally similar. My reality wants to say, why is it similar if everything is in this glorious state of just expressing? You would think that the freedom to express, to evolve, would bring about changes in the base patterns. Is my reality, my mind just being a processor like our internet as a function? Human beings wrote records of phenomena, references to the heart. The observer must lie within the heart. That the heart not only felt and cared, but it also connected. And connected is how human beings are best expressed. Communicating, groups, culture came out of connecting. Why? Who? What? All the questions come from the observer, because that observer wants to connect.
There's these things that we glean from our childhoods that we take with us into our adulthood, and I think that is completely a choice that we made before birth. And things happen that are completely out of our control. But I think within some parameters, we have a lot of choices that we can make. We're given a playing field. How we choose to interact and participate in that game is something that we consciously decide on a day-to-day basis. We choose to either listen to that higher form. Some of us listen more than others, and I think that's why some people have more fulfilling lives. The hard thing is the language around it all. So how can I talk about something that isn't physical in a language that is solely about being physical? There's no way. I mean, inner voice, higher power, God, goddess, whatever. But I believe it's something that certainly transcends our physical bodies. It's a very bodily response that I have to some sort of intangible governing force. This is my vehicle. This is it. This is what I have to get me through this world. Some sort of phase in evolution. I think it's a part of a huge, long, extensive, difficult process.
Something is holding it together in movement and sound form. This knowing without being conscious necessarily of knowing. It's silent, it's quiet. That's why we have to be still and meditate. Because I did have a dream where I bounced to the other side in the dream. And it's so incredibly permanent. It's not what you do with your life that matters in the end. It's what you haven't done that you may regret. And so in the dream, I have literally gone over to the other side, and it's a thump, thump, bump, bump, and I can't get back. And I have two regrets. And one is I didn't love more, and I didn't enjoy life more. So there's some sort of clairvoyance, but a lot of times it's muddy and it's unclear. And some of it is the wisdom to know the difference. Is it Gestalt? Is it clairvoyance? And maybe the dream world is where we are given special energy or a place to see ahead, to resolve within, but you need to tap into it. Just because it's invisible doesn't mean it's not real. Doesn't mean it's not real. Doesn't mean it's not real.